Alrighty, hey everyone, I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day today. Loki is having a bunch of fun next to me waiting for his treat. This is going to be a different type of stream today because it's going to be a little bit shorter because I have to go watch the Mariners game, and because the Mariners are like once in a lifetime game to watch basically. So hopefully you guys have all been having a good day. Bitcoin's down, everything's pretty much down. Tron's up a little bit, Leo's up a little bit, XMR's up a little bit of everything going on, but overall a boring news day, some trickling out of news I would say, but we're going to cover all of that here in the next few minutes, right? Before all that, let me give Loki a little bit of a treat as always. Happy to see you, Free Image. Happy to see you, my man. Thanks for the likes, everybody. Villa, happy to see you as well here. Loki gets a nice little duck treat right here. You can see him very excited about these. I don't know why he likes these so much, but he seems to love these things a lot. Be good, be good, gentle. Good. Okay, there you go. He knows, he just gets excited sometimes. And hey, GOP, happy to see my man in Sooski. I'm gonna mispronounce that name, but I hope you can correct me with it. All right, so let's get started here. A lot of actually fun stuff to talk about today. I got an update about my website that is moving along here quite well. It's currently being uploaded, so every time you refresh it, it looks a little bit different. But Bitcoin, we've already talked about this over the last few days. Of course, it's coming down. It needs to recalibrate. We need to build some confidence for buyers to get back into the market because we don't have that yet. When your favorite altcoin drops 80% in less than 2 hours, it's kind of a terrifying experience, as you guys might imagine, right? And I think this is why you've been seeing Bitcoin dominance continue to climb higher and higher and higher. But across the board, for the most part, besides a few little tokens out there, you're seeing cryptocurrency down today. Go over here, look at what's having a horrible day right there. Year to date, there's a lot of stuff that's now negative because of this move. On the other side, there's still stuff that's positive year to date, but it's not really much, to be honest. Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, XRP, Solana. Solana is now even for the year, basically. Tron's up 25%. Hyperliquid's up 47%. Let's go over here very fast. There we go. Some of these tokens are still low market cap, so it's a little bit funky. But, you know, there's not really too much moving along here. This has been a bad year for altcoins overall. A great year for Bitcoin for the most part, I would say, right? As far as what's trending right now, I did have this on something else here a minute ago. There we go. There was something that kind of piqued my Arc of Panda. This thing only has a $25 million market cap. Because Bitcoin is a little bit bearish right now, if you guys are looking for something kind of crazy, that might be something to kind of have some fun with. Again, $25 million market cap, extremely high risk. You could toss in $5 and be happy with that. This is not something where you toss in hundreds or thousands of dollars unless you guys are built like that. And I am not built like that, so I don't recommend that you guys be built like that either. Again, high risk, but it could be kind of fun. As far as fear and greed and stuff like that, we are looking a little bit more towards the fear. That makes sense. Everything is still coming down overall today. And altcoin season is down to 31, which is not that great, of course. Now, what I do want to talk about here is, remember when we had been talking about the recovery this last weekend, and we were saying, well, normally when we break back up like that and we have a nasty move, usually Bitcoin's going to come down a little bit more. And my concern right now, and why I'm a little bit more bearish on Bitcoin than most, is because first, the Trump tariffs and stuff like that with China, because China's fucking around and that Trump's going to make them find out basically. Usually when we break down below this 20-week moving average and we close down below it, Bitcoin does go down for a while. So we had it over here, went down for a while, a lot of stagnation, went down over here, a lot of stagnation. Things just didn't end up going well for Bitcoin for the next few weeks. And even though we have a rate cut coming, even though we have PPI coming, even though we have a quantitative easing probably coming in here pretty soon, even though the shutdown is probably going to end in the next few weeks, even though China tariff stuff maybe won't come into pass, it seems like Bitcoin's going to need to take a minute to like work its way through everything. And my big concern right now is that, you know, we're looking at this death cross about to happen here sometime in December if we don't hurry up and get this thing moving. But I guess the optimism here and why I'm still long overall is because even though in the short term I think we're going to be having a little bit more volatility, a little bit more of a downward move, when we start to get a little too close, probably sometime in November, we are going to see Bitcoin take a sudden rip, and we're going to start going to all-time highs again, probably towards $130,000 to $140,000. That's only because usually when we get really close to this type of stuff, we do see Bitcoin seem to like just love to pop off. We're not there yet, but we are getting closer, which makes me a little bit more excited. But this news about tariffs and Trump and China and PPI and like inflation and the Fed and shutdowns, none of that news is very good for cryptocurrency as a whole. I will say, despite Bitcoin being a little bit more boring over the last few months, as you guys can see, the Dow Jones is still going higher, the Nasdaq is still going higher, the SPY is still going higher. So I would expect a lot of money to keep on flowing into Bitcoin overall, and for Bitcoin to keep on going higher overall. It may not be the same slow and boring type of path. Maybe we're going to have some big pops like Bitcoin normally does, but I still expect a Bitcoin to take off here. Okay. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about Bitcoin dominance. You guys know Benjamin Cohen always has the best Bitcoin dominance videos, so if you guys get a chance, go watch him. But Bitcoin dominance is probably going to move higher during this next little kerfluffle that we're looking at, where we're seeing altcoins come down a little bit more against Bitcoin, right? I expect Bitcoin to come down. I just expect altcoins to come down more. Nothing too crazy there. Perhaps if we get some good news coming out, that'll be something that can really get us going. But I just don't know where that good news would come from right now. And we'll talk a little bit about that down the road of like what could possibly happen. My trading strategy isn't working out too well because everything is bearish. The weekly charts are bearish. The daily charts are bearish. The 4-hour charts are bearish. So I'm not really trading all too much right now. I'm going to wait and see, but I haven't really been doing too much at all. I have a bunch of MACDs on here. Only one is important for this particular thing. So you have a little bit of a buy signal, but you guys could already tell this is a pretty bearish situation. So it's kind of like, most people aren't really doing too much buying right now. As far as the news is concerned today, US and Ethereum ETFs rebound as Powell signals rate cuts. Again, the Fed is really controlling a lot of this stuff, but Trump also has a major impact on the market as well here. I was looking for something to really talk about, but let me just read some of these headlines. I don't really see much cool stuff here. Bitcoin's October vibes hinge on Fed rate cut odds. Nasdaq and tech stocks response. Thiel-backed Erebor wins U.S. approval at Silicon Valley Bank rival emerges. Doge holders are buying dips. Is $1.60 by 2026 realistic? I don't think so. Solana becomes liquidity hub as USTDO0 and gold bring omni-chain dollars gold. Bitcoin traders fear 102,000 Bitcoin price dive as gold sets new all-time highs. And then what happened in crypto today? There's nothing really too crazy going on. I think tomorrow we may actually talk about gold a little bit and what's happening there and people moving their money into it. But really, these feel like a lot of AI articles and not much is being said at the moment. Or nothing that I really care about, right? Nothing I really care about. Decrypt, this one is always a little bit better. Let me refresh this page just unless there was some news here. UK moves to compensate Chinese victims of $7 billion Bitcoin scam. That's interesting. Thumbs up eyes Dogecoin payouts to fuel growth. Crypto's leverage boom raises fresh systematic risk concerns. Yeah, by that, there's a little bit of risk, a little bit of leverage here. North Korean hackers target crypto devs through open source software hub. Let's see. There's nothing too crazy here. New Solana all-time high by end of year. No versus yes. No is winning this one. Let's see. I don't know if that's like a betting site or something like that. And as far as the block is concerned, Coinbase adds BNB to listing roadmap amid industry spat over listing fees. I just think this is overall good news. I like when exchanges have their other exchanges tokens on them. Some people just buy them specifically just to have growth where they can make, they can buy low, sell high. And then other people, like, if I am on a Weeks exchange, I'd personally want to buy that on the Weeks exchange because I like how it gives me discounts for owning it, like BNB and stuff like that. You can buy BNB in a lot of places, but holding BNB on Coinbase isn't necessarily going to help you out in getting lower fees on Binance, right? Some people just want access to it, and I believe I'm happy with Coinbase making that move right now. It should have already happened months, years ago, but there's always been spats because Binance is the legend, the myth, the OG, and Coinbase is a great guy, but he's just not to that same type of caliber, right? Because they've been trying to be more America meet this regulatory standards of America, where Binance is like, we don't need America. There's tons of other money out there. Right? A little bit of a difference there. Now, I was going over to look at Bitcoin stuff on X. There was some news today about Supreme Court, Argentina, Nancy Pelosi, and stuff like that. Nothing was really, oh wow, that's newsworthy. It's like people need something to talk about to make money on X. And I've taken up. I don't have X Premium anymore. That was the biggest waste of money, and I will die on that hill. I saw no traffic growth, no nothing here, which kind of sucked. So I probably won't be posting too much on X. Maybe down the road I will, but I just don't. I don't mesh with the X system of how people post. I post random ADHD stuff, right? I don't post with a methodical thing, right? Or I don't want to be too divisive. Try to be at least. But this guy says the Bitcoin 4-year cycle is almost over. Instead of buying Bitcoin 2012, he was selling stuff. Eric Trump said live on Bloomberg, with Bitcoin you can transfer 500 million on Sunday night with no fees. Yeah, but that's with a lot of blockchains, right? But I get his point. Bitcoin quantile model V2. If you're gonna want to bookmark this post and follow regular model updates. Let's see, what's he trying to do here? Today, 3 months. Oh, just on how it goes higher. Okay. Pig butchering bust. Binance just started dumping Bitcoin liquid at all longs. Yeah, that was pretty interesting to say. I was wondering what's going on there. I don't know if it's pure malice or something, but something was definitely going on. The IMF director urges countries to embrace Bitcoin and crypto. They need to accept reality. Oh, damn. Unlimited fiat, only 21 million. Let's see. Trump was just caught trying to transfer 100 billion of your tax dollars to rich Bitcoin donors. I wonder if that's just a political thing. Let's see. Yeah, but not too much stuff really going on here today, honestly. The technicals aren't that great, of course, for Bitcoin. Let me pop this back over here. I would still expect us to try to come back down here, test out support. Hopefully we can hold. It's just that normally when you break down below this, like we could hold for the next 4 days. I think the goal for this week, if you're a bull, is to actually close back above this. That way we can start to have a little bit more of a surge towards the higher end of this box. Otherwise, we're probably going to dip back down, play around between $107,000 and $104,000, which will spook the market even more. We'll hold most likely and bounce off because we do have this lovely trend line here. But the moment we start breaking down below this, that's where we have to have like a long consolidation where we don't even have a massive move until like 2026, and that'd be devastating for us, and which just nobody wants to deal with that. And hey, Haram, happy to see my man Knox and Fitz. Happy to see all of you guys here. Now, I know this is gonna be a little bit of a shorter stream here today, guys, because I want to go watch the Mariners game because it's the Mariners, and they're here in town, right? So everything's gonna be crazy. Here is the new website. It's being uploaded as we speak, so it's gonna look a little bit weird, and we're still kind of messing around with stuff. I don't want to zoom in. I'll just kind of show it to you here. So, like, the crypto manual, master crypto one lesson at a time. So there's gonna be built-in lessons on this, which is gonna be kind of cool. There's gonna be a glossary for all the definitions and things like that. You go over here to Investopedia, right? We're aiming for something similar to this type of vibe, but all of our stuff is going to be based around cryptocurrency, where this is mostly around stocks and CDs and old money type of ways, old money systems. We're trying to be the new future of the new money, blockchain technology. They have a lot of articles about what's happening with blockchain and that type of stuff, which will be really cool. This is for the week's token, even though it's not spelled correctly. Don't worry about it. It'll be fixed up. This is like rough coming up. BYDeFi, top exchange partners, glossary for all the terms. Again, it's still being worked out, but we're gonna have a glossary, tools, so position sizing, dollar cost averaging tools, and more, like tax tools, stuff like that. Reviews, like wallets, exchanges, and tools. I was using ChatGPT today, and I'm basically going to apply to be an affiliate with a bunch of different. Let me see. A bunch of different products out there. That way I can try to get free stuff to do reviews on them. So you can see right here, here's the master list right now. So I'm going to have partnerships. Again, they're not going to pay me. It's just if somebody goes to the website, they read about it, like, I want to give this a try, and then they sign up, then they trade, then I'll make money. So it's a long process, but I'm going to have links with all of these players right here, all of them. I'm going to have all these trading tools like TradingView, Lux Algo, Crypto Hopper, Good Crypto, Infinity Algo. I'm going to try to have affiliate programs with all these, and I'm going to review every single one of them. So usually, because I am somewhat of a larger influence, not a fantastic, like not a major one, but a large one, I can usually get free access to any of these things for like a month. And then when I do that, it'll take time because I'm not going to do all this in 1 month. What I'll be able to do is say, okay, I like this. Let me write down some notes. Okay, this is good. This is good. I'll have a review written, and then you guys can see if you want to try it out, get a free thing, whatever. And then it's just basically whoever ends up going to the website, right? And then I'm going to get access to all of these wallets here: Ledger Nano, the Trezor, KeepKey, Cool Wallet, Seku X, Keystone, OneKey, Rock Wallet, Blockstream, Build Foldy, whatever. And then that'll be it. And then the last part about the website that I may do, this may just be a fun thing for me to do. I think this is going to be a fun thing. How to dress as a crypto bro. I'm going to try to go down that path. Because if this thing makes me a lot of money, I will be buying lots of fun clothes to try and have fun with, like, you know, polo and stuff like that. I'm not doing I don't buy clothes too much, right? I'm losing weight. I realized that I bought this overcoat like a long time ago, and it was too small, and I felt kind of bad, so I just like stored it away. I put on the overcoat today, and it fit like a fucking charm. It fit. I was like, ooh, this feels great. But the website's coming aboard here. You know, there's gonna be things like blockchain. That's like you know, what does blockchain mean? Again, this is being built out, so it's gonna look a little bit different. But you can see how it's a basic one right here. It's gonna be much longer, I would say. But how to buy your first cryptocurrency safely, a Coinbase review, dollar cost averaging planner, stuff like that, right? Plan recurring buys. Just make sure you guys are a little bit more structured and things like that. Most of us aren't disciplined these days, so hopefully some of these tools can help you guys out. But it's coming along. It's still going to take some time. He has to update some more stuff. We have to get some things going. I have to apply for more things, all that type of stuff. BYDeFi and Weeks may partner up with me in terms of promoting the website, as long as I am like just saying, hey, this is a great exchange, which it is, right? Because I partner with them, and things like that, which would be pretty cool. But yeah, I'm excited that I'm excited to see how this works out here. It's moving. As you can see, there's a lot of work left compared to be like an Investopedia and things like that. But it's getting there. And I'll take that getting there as a win, because once that website's up and running, you know, like look at this. You click on one of these financial products, right? Veribank, right? This is an Investopedia code right here. Investopedia right there. Affiliate code. So they're making money off of this. So if I can provide that same information but better, I think that'd be great. Because what they do is they just say the best high yield accounts, right? I'm going to have something that's similar to this, but then I'm going to have a dedicated page, like having a deep breakdown about what all this stuff is, right? And I think that's going to be great. Like they kind of separate this, but imagine if there's a whole page kind of dedicated to what they are, what they do, why people like them, the downsides and the upsides. I feel like that'll get me better when it comes to the SEO and that type of work, right? So cool stuff is happening, I would say. But cool stuff is not happening to Bitcoin. We still remain bearish right here. Bearish. I do think, like I said before, we have an opportunity to have a nice little pop here over the next few days. Although we're looking at a death cross. Death crosses don't really do too much to Bitcoin here. So although you're trying to see the bears test out these levels, if we can just have some type of good news coming out, at least we can get choppier. And like we always talked about here, buy, big breakout above the moving average, big breakout with the moving average. By the end of this week, if we're lucky, we can close back above that 20-week moving average and close around $118,000 to $120,000. Now, is that likely? No, but I still think it's a possibility here because there's so much crazy news, and the news that we're looking for this week. Don't forget, right? Tomorrow we come up with a core PPI, basically some inflation data coming out. U.S. retail sales minus autos, producer price index, business inventories. And then Friday we don't really have much, you know, housing starts, building permits, nothing of consequence. Then next week we have CPI next Friday. So, I mean, we could theoretically have a good end of the week, you know, good next few days, stall out into the weekend, but somehow manage to close above the 20 and then boost up next week. It's possible. This is why I've already been buying up stuff and I'm happy with my positions. Now, I've lost a lot of money over the last few days. Who hasn't? But I'm not selling everything type of mood, right? I think we're in a better situation than that. And hey, David, happy to see my man. Hopefully you're doing well. And King Louis, happy to see my man. Genius Michael, I need that crypto swag. Dude, you have no idea. I'm gonna try to buy some clothes. The thing about me is I'm losing weight, right? So I have a bunch of jackets I was looking at right now. I was trying to put together an outfit for later on tonight, and all of my jackets are 4X. All of them 4X. They all are just a tad too big for me to wear and look good. Although I'm gonna be wearing them anyway. But yeah, so all my jackets are too big, and when I know I'm gonna go shopping and stuff like that, I like to have Polo. I can go to Polo Outlet. It doesn't have to be Polo the website, but Polo Outlet. I like to go to Nordstrom's and Macy's, but Nordstrom's and Macy's don't really have good 3X stuff right now. I have to go to like their rack places and try to find out what I can. Or I go to DXL, but DXL is a ripoff sometimes. I just bought a nice new plaid shirt, long sleeve with the black. There was like gold lines coming through from Polo. It's gonna be great. But I had to order it because they didn't have it in the store, right? So, but I'm losing weight. I think tomorrow I'm gonna start fasting again here, which means that the next couple of days my brain's gonna be a little bit foggy. But after that, I'll be running all cylinders again, especially because I have so much work to do. Again, I have to now. I already got links to some of these things, but I have to become an affiliate of Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, Sex, Crypto.com. I'm already one of Crypto.com. Blockchain Exchange, OKX, Bybit. I probably already am affiliated with a lot of these places. I just don't remember my passwords, my links and stuff like that. So it's going to be a little bit hard for me to go back and figure out who the brand managers are that connected me with the exchanges. Margex, KSEX, Blowfin, River Financial, Paxful, Local Bitcoin, Simple Swap, right? All this type of stuff. That's going to take me weeks to do all this stuff. But once it does, you'll see like a new page on the website saying, hey, this is this new product, or here's a review for the product. This is why I like it. This is why I don't. Here are the ups and downs, the fees. We're going to have all the fees so you guys can see the which fees are the cheapest and stuff like that. But is the cheaper fees worth it if it doesn't have all the products you're looking for? The best copy trader list. I'll have a list of copy traders. Maybe eventually that'll be down the road. I'll pay for somebody in like India or the Philippines, like $20 a day or something like that. To basically once a day go through all of the copy trader exchanges out there and make a list of who the top ones are for that week. I probably will do it for the month and just say, hey, we do it every month. I'll give you $50. And they compile all that data and put it into a spreadsheet. Then I have my AI guy take all that data and update everything to see these are the best copy traders for everybody that wants to go on that path. Here are the best YouTubers and stuff like that. So I'll have like profiles of YouTubers on there as well. Like there'll be my profile that stands above all over the others because it's my freaking website. But I will also have one of, let's say, Benjamin Cohen. Like, hey, this is what Benjamin Cohen stands for. This is what he does. This is why I like him, whatever. Here's why I like Tom Crown, stuff like that. There won't be any negatives and stuff like that. There'll just be like, hey, here are the people. Here's like a bio basically for them. I'll have BitBoy on there as well. I'll have all of them on there just to kind of explain what they are, some of their history and stuff like that in the space. It won't be like a place of trash. Like BitBoy Crypto is good for this, but he has a troubled past with cheating on his wife. It won't be nothing like that. But I will be more selective of who I put on that. Maybe like Crypto Casey, stuff like that. Maybe I'll put on Crypto Wendy, maybe not, something like that. But I'll be putting on influencers and things like that. So that'll be interesting as well. So I have a bunch of plans. I'm working on it right now. It's taking a long time, of course, but I think it'll do well. And as you guys can see, the website's now starting to get off the ground. Things are working out. My guy has been working really hard on this. He's been fantastic. Can't even call him my guy, my friend, my partner, whatever you want to call him. He's just been he's been doing awesome here. And hey, Vegas, Nick, happy to see my man. I need to go down to Vegas sometime. I'm tired of being in Washington State, man. It's getting cold. Have a look at the stock AGQ. Been told that Bitcoin follows gold within 30 days. Your thoughts on it? Let's see. Bitcoin does tend to follow gold. It's a little bit choppy right now just because of what we saw with the tariffs and whatnot. But typically, yeah, it does follow it by a little bit. Even the stock market. Remember we talking about the stock market doing well? Bitcoin's not, but the stock market's still doing fantastic as well. So you talk about the stock AGQ. ProShares Ultra Silver. Oh yeah, I own a boatload of silver. Yeah, silver is one of my favorite things. Only because silver is affordable, where gold is thousands of dollars. Gold is silver has been moving up quite well. This is moving up even faster than I think silver, though. I think this is like a boosted one. Yeah, ProShares Ultra Silver. Maybe I should have bought this in the first place, right? I mean, it's moving. It's at, nice little highs here that hasn't been above in a long time. We haven't seen this up here since, what, 2013? Oh, my God. I mean, the world's in a fucked up spot right now. And I don't just mean America. I mean, China's fucked up, America's fucked up, Canada's fucked up, Latin America's fucked up, Argentina's fucked up, Africa's fucked up, but they're used to being fucked up. And Europe right now is getting real fucked up because Europe's economy is really weird because they're a big welfare state, but they're not. Everything's costing so much money that they can't keep on taxing everybody because the tax is already so high. They don't know how to keep spending vast amounts of money. And then, but they keep doing it just like we do. But we have the reserve currency, so we can, it's like a cheat code almost. All right. Can you imagine if America had to balance its budget, or at least try to do it? How would that do it? Like, let me go over here to, in detail, break down America's budget and tax systems. Okay. We don't care what they really say here. I think I got Destiny's Child playing behind me. I do got Destiny's Child behind me. Okay, so in a perfect... Now let's tackle a very hard question. How would you balance the budget in not 2025, 2024, because it has all the data already, right? In 2024... I want to know what tax changes you would make, how expenses... Okay, I'm not going to spell it right anyway. Expenses would change, ECT. Really break it down in extreme detail, much longer than your last answer. Okay. Like, how would this even work? Extreme? No, extreme. There you go. What do you think we are waiting on to hear the markets to pump back to previous levels? A little bit of everything. It's just everything's mounting up right now. We have the shutdown. We have inflation coming out tomorrow. We have China going after the rest of the world as well, not just America. We have France in turmoil because they just got rid of the prime minister, and they're trying to get another one here. It just, I mean, they already have one, but it's the same one. He came back suddenly. The world's just in a weird place right now, right? I think right now we just need to have some positive earnings as far as the stock market's concerned. If the stock market keeps on going higher, Bitcoin will eventually chase it. Then we need to see, on a happy news, maybe the Russia-Ukraine war end. That's not happening anytime soon. But we could have the battle between Trump and Xi Jinping of China, right? That can be de-escalated enough where we don't have to launch tariffs on them on November 1st, which would help Bitcoin go higher. Yeah, it's just a multitude of things, basically. It's a multitude of things. And maybe we have the jobs market still appear to be okay. Not great, but okay. That way the market doesn't get too excited. As it's still learning how to do all this stuff, and I guess it's a very hard question that I asked it, right? It's a very difficult question. Loki. Ow, I need to clip your claws. I thought you running outside would help out a lot, but it hasn't. Okay, good boy. Wait, good boy. Wait. The little passive-aggressive bite. That's the way he does it. That's his last treat of right now. He gets one more when I leave for the day. All right, here we go. Wow, creating several packages for... Okay, here we go. Based on you're trying to fix the 2024 actuals, revenue was 4.9 trillion. Outlay spending was 6.7 trillion. The deficit was 1.8 trillion. Composition intel, discretionary outlays, okay. New revenue, a 5% broad VAT, $220 to $340 billion a year over 10 years. Okay, that's 2.2 to 3.4 trillion over 10 years. Scaling is roughly linear, so 10% VAT is $440 to $680 billion a year. Okay. Carbon tax, interesting. $24 a ton starting now, 100 to 110 billion a year, one ramps thereafter. Financial transactions tax, 0.1% rate, $78 billion a year. Oh, interesting. Corporate income tax from, to 28% from 21. Okay. Repeal or sharply limit the 20% pass-through 199A deduction. Oh, they're trying to go after the wealthy here. Step up in basis reforms, tax gains at death or carryover basis. Okay. So wealthy probably get, when they die, they have to pay some taxes. IRS enforcement, sustained incremental funding, net $10 billion a year in additional collections, declining ROI over time. This was already taken out in the big beautiful bill, I believe. Raise individual rates at the top, illustrative, plus 2 pp on 4 brackets, $50 billion a year, 1 point, okay, across all brackets, $108 billion a year. Payroll tax base for Social Security, lift the taxable maximum toward 90% of covered earnings, $70 to $140 billion a year, optional dependent. End fossil fuel tax preferences, outlay savings, so defense down 5%, non-defense down 5%. Medicare provider, this is interesting. Okay, tighten MMA coding, expand drug price negotiation competition, conservative $10 to $20 billion a year on the list. Okay. It's funny because Democrats and Republicans are both trying to do certain parts of this. Like the Democrats are trying to do the IRS stuff. The Republicans are trying to do more of this type of medical stuff right here. But both want to put more money into the military, of course. So politically hard, but the cleanest math. See, politically hard. Let's see, can you give me the math again, but show me the before and after. Before and afters, there you go. Buy the dip, I guess. That's what I've been doing. Taxes are such BS. Oh, I know. Trust me, I know. Nobody likes those taxes. What time are the Mariners playing today, by the way? I think they're playing it pretty soon. The Mariners at 5:08. Oh, okay. Phew. I thought it was like at 4 o'clock or something like that. I still have to get dressed and take a shower and stuff before I head out. I was thinking of saying hi to my grandparents before they start watching the game. They're too into it, so I can't watch it with them. My grandfather likes to be sitting in silence, and my grandma like freaks out when the Mariners like, oh, I can't watch it. They're losing. Oh, I can't watch it. That just drives everybody in the house crazy. So, what do you call it? Little bit of a difference in personalities watching the game. I'm more of like my grandpa. I like to watch sports in silence. Like I'll be like woo yeah if I'm with friends and I'll be woo yeah, but I can't have people being anxious around me with sports because then I get anxious myself. Not their fault, it's my fault. But I'm just like, please stop. Okay, so here we go. Receipts go from like a 5 trillion up to 6.29, and we cut back a little bit of spending, 6.75 down to 6.28. So we have a $12 billion surplus. So VAT tax goes from 0 to 7.7. Carbon tax goes from 0 to 0.105. FTT goes from 0 to 0.087. Oh, financial transactions tax. Okay. Corporate income tax 28 from I think it was 21. Repeal the I-98. What is this? This must be a big loophole. OASDI taxable maximum lift towards 90%. Interesting. IRS enforcement. Okay. Defense goes down. They're cutting the defense budget. Can we ever do that? Are we capable of doing that? Non-defense discrimination, discretionary. cutting that down. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's down 15%. Wow. Medicare provider and plan reforms, drug policy. So Medicare reform. That means we can't just keep on spending more money. We gotta actually like say, hey, you got to charge the rest of the world more money. We're not paying as much because, you know, you're us here. Wasn't a CEO got killed over this type of stuff a while ago? Other mandatory and integrity savings down. Net interest in the year. Okay, that's kind of cool. Mechanical part that the interest goes down. I mean, again, I'm not going to pretend like I know all of that, but I do say that I like the way it's going. I think we should put a little bit less money in the defense budget. I think that would help us out a little bit. I also do believe we need to renegotiate with Medicare companies and things like that so they're not always so greedy, because they know that the more money the government gives them, the more they can charge, because the government's going to keep on pouring more and more money into the system. You know, we got to tell them no, like I got a punching way, no, where we have to let like one of the major healthcare insurance companies go bankrupt because we're like, no, we're not paying it. You're screwed, right? You got to either lower the prices or you're screwed. But see, again, all this is political. So all of this would have to happen after somebody becomes president and they have 4 years or 2 years before the midterms, right? So 2 years to do all of that stuff. That would be a big, beautiful bill. But also that'd be like political suicide, because then it would cause pain in certain sectors or whatnot. The other party would say, we can fix this pain. We're going to make it better for you. And then they reverse some of that stuff so the longer term problems still persist, right? The moment that America, like, I don't have, oh yeah. So would America be more prosperous? Okay, I'm not pronouncing anything right. If, we had no national debt and it was all paid off. Sure, that right there. I like watching the good beer, food, and with good friends. That's also a way to do it. I guess I haven't been drinking as much lately, especially beer. I may go. I'm probably gonna go to the cigar lounge a little bit later on for a little bit, then head out afterwards. It's Island night at the bar I like to go to, so I'll be over there for a minute. So what no national debt really means, the U.S. national debt, $35 trillion in 2025, is essentially the sum of all outstanding treasury securities, the bonds, notes, and bills the government has issued over time to fund spending beyond its tax revenues. If we paid it all off, that means no treasuries outstanding, no interest payments on bondholders, no federal government running sustained budget surpluses for many years, removing the world's most used risk-free financial asset. Isn't that crazy? So the theoretical benefits of a debt-free America: no interest burden, right? So last year we paid over $600 billion of net interest, more than the entire defense budget in some years. Erasing the debt would free up cash for infrastructure, education, or tax relief, lower inflationary pressure over time, greater fiscal flexibility in crisis, war, pandemic, recession. The government could borrow without worrying about massive existing debt stock. Interest rates could remain lower because investors trust U.S. solvency. That means debt is low. That means we don't have to pay all those crazy fees and stuff like that. Lower inflation pressure long term. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. National security independence. The U.S. would no longer owe money to foreign governments like China or Japan, removing one channel of extreme leverage. Hidden downsides of eliminating all debt. Treasury securities are used as collateral for trillions in repo markets, safe reserves for central banks, so we'd have to switch up some stuff. Private sector would lose a safe savings vehicle. No debt doesn't mean no money. Treasury securities are also part of the money supply. Paying off all that debt could contract broad money, risking deflation. That's fine, unless the Fed replaces it with some type of other instrument. Surplus requirement require plan to pay off $35 trillion. Need to sustain multi-trillion-dollar budget surplus for decades. That means either massive tax hikes or deep spending cuts, or both. Example: even a $500 billion annual surplus would take 7 years to clear at the current debt, not counting interest. Okay, so now that we know the USA will never do this, what is the best place to hold your money for the long term? I want medium risk, but we assume eventually the USA will have a full-blown financial crisis. I can't pronounce any of that stuff today, whatever. And hey, Walt, happy to see my man. Dodgers up 2-0 against the Bruisers. Oh, phew. I thought you said, like, I was thinking the Mariners. I was like, what? The game hasn't started yet. If the Dodgers are going up against the Mariners, we can still say friends, Mike. I know, right? This is going to be a crazy one. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised the Dodgers are up 2-0. I'm surprised that the Mariners are up 2-0. The Mariners scare me. So I'm really excited to see how they play this game. They usually do better away from home, though, which is like, please just keep on playing over there. So if we assume America would never reigns in the debt, then the endgame looks like monetary addiction. Okay, yeah, currency trust erosion. Okay, policy response. Okay. So foundation, real and hard assets like owning land, houses, and stuff like that. You got to own something tangible. Cash flow and dividend assets. Okay, stable income, long-term compounders, asymmetric edge, growth and optionality, exposure to exponential upside. Crypto, yeah, crypto, woo, yeah, we're in there. See, even AI knows crypto is the way to go. Gold, that's always something right there. We always love gold here, silver, whatever. Foreign sovereign bonds. I wonder, what are the cheapest investment metals like gold and silver, but cheaper? There's a bunch of stuff they told me here. I don't really care about it though. So gold, silver, commodities, energy, dividend stocks for the globe, non-US bonds, real estate, Bitcoin, Ethereum, self-custody wallets, cash, T-bills, right? Emerging market stocks. So that's kind of something right there. So gold, silver. I like silver. I like gold. Approximately $2,400. It's above $4,000. This data is so old. Silver around $29. It's like up. Yeah, it's up higher than that. Platinum, palladium, rhodium, copper, nickel, tin, zinc, cobalt. Right. So probably. I mean, have any of us actually looked into copper before? I don't really look into copper too much. I mean, it actually is going up quite a bit. Now, while Bitcoin's going higher and higher, this thing it's all over the place here, but this might be something just to buy in for a longer term hold here. How is zinc doing? It's not terrible. Nickel, tin, platinum. Physical bars. I have silver coins. That's all I have. I don't have gold coins. Classic poor man's gold, silver, copper, zinc, platinum, and nickel. Future tech exposure. It's been flattening a little bit too. Interesting. At one point it was up 63,000. Now it's at 15. Yeah, I mean, there's so much you can do in metals right now, but they're just longer term plays, right? Longer term plays. Any word on why crypto is going back down? It's still, so we're recalibrating after the supply shock, or the shock of watching Bitcoin fall down from like what 126,000 all the way down here to 107,000. What usually happens is we go for a little bit of a chop, we stabilize, and then once the bulls feel a little bit more confident, they'll start to buy back in. Imagine you had a bunch of money in altcoins and you saw all of that money go down like 80% and you panic sold. What would it take? What price coming down would it make you feel better to be buying in? That's what we're kind of figuring out right now. Now the issue is that when we break down below these moving averages, like the 21 right here, typically we come down for a few weeks afterwards, right? We came down once, bopped back up, came back down, we consolidated for a while, but we came down, right? There's a chance that we come back down and we test out the 50 week moving average, which is around $102,000. Maybe we break down below, but we try to bounce off of it. So if you want a clear buying opportunity, that might be it. Last time we fell down below this over here, wasn't that great. Last time over here, wasn't that great. This time over here, wasn't that great. So typically when we break down below these, we're not doing so hot. You can see this one right here isn't too bad. I left the door open for Loki to go outside. Damn it, freaking fly. I have a bunch of fly spray in this. Well, I got like 2 fly sprays in this house, but I can't stand flies. I can't stand them. Loki tries to eat them, but I tell him not to. Anyway, yeah, it's not. This was a FTX blowing up. But we probably have at least a couple weeks of negativity coming along if we decide to close down below this 20. The hope, you know, is that we have a reversal here where we find a way to bounce back up and have a nicer move with Bitcoin. So we hold here for the next few days. We bounce up with some good news like tomorrow's inflation data, the PPI inflation, that gives us an excuse to bounce up. And maybe going into the week, we hear some better news about China and the tariffs and some of that. We boost back up, and then we at least get back up to 118,000 to 120. That's just going to be very difficult to happen, though, because right now, Bitcoin is still bearish on the momentum here. You guys know my simple reason for swing trading is because everything is aligned. So bullish right here, bullish right there, bullish right there. You can buy and you can see how it goes higher. Bullish right here, bullish right there, bullish there. You can see it goes much higher, and you know, and on and on and on and on and on. However, right now in the bearishness, once we start to be bullish again, I'll be very happy. I'll be excited, but we're not there yet. We're not even close. We came close over here, but even then, remember, we talked about the same thing. It hasn't gone yet, but maybe it can close in the green by the end of the week, and it did not. And the next week, of course, we could have maybe turned green, but you see what happened there with the tariffs and the tariff threat, not the new tariffs, the tariff threat, right? But yeah. But okay, buddy, I'm gonna call it a day right now. I gotta go take a shower, get ready to go. I gotta play with Loki with for a little bit, get him tired out before I head out. I'll see you guys tomorrow, which is Thursday. I'll probably go live around 3:30 or so. Again, I'm trying to watch these Mariners games, guys. I'm sorry, but these Mariners games, I may not see them in the playoffs again, right? Like apparently the last time they were in the playoffs or won that game that they did the ALC, I can't pronounce it, whatever. I was like 6 years old. 7 years old. No, 6, yeah, I was almost 7 years old, yeah. So this is special for me. I'm going to watch these games. I'm going to chill a little bit, go grab a couple cigars, maybe get myself a shot of whiskey or something. I had some good tequila last night. But enjoy yourselves tonight. Bitcoin is not in a great spot right now. I would say that altcoins are not going to be that great. Day trading is probably still your best friend, but I'm not that great at shorting while day trading, so I'm a little bit more skeptical. I might be doing like smaller swing trades where you hold for like 24 to 48 hours with looking at the four-hour movement, right? So you see the weekly's bearish across the board. You see the daily's bearish across the board. You know, if you see some nastiness right here, like the 4-hour just turned bearish, I wouldn't be surprised if we have something temporary where Bitcoin comes down a little bit and you sell somewhere down here and it may comes back up, whatever, but you're able to short here and sell somewhere down here, right? I'm not getting too uppity about those types of trades personally, but that's something you guys could possibly do here if you wanted to make a quick little buck, okay? See you guys a little bit later and have a great rest of your night. And thanks, Lisa. Happy to see all of you guys in here today. For members out there, I did put out a member video earlier, and there will be another one coming out tomorrow. I think I'm going to start doing a few of them just on my phone. I'm just going to take my gimbal out with me, so get ready for those. I tried to do some shorts, but